Here is the number one question that I know my clients think about all the time. Does video really work? And will I actually get clients from my videos? Well, this week, I think I got the best possible answer to that question. A lot of expert entrepreneurs think video is risky, that it's a ton of work and there's no guarantee of return. But just a couple of days ago, I landed a new client. And this is someone who I think is going to be an ideal client for me. And this happened because of videos that I made months ago. And here's the best part. By the time we got on a call, it felt like I'd already made a new friend, even though we'd never met. He's an executive coach. He's earning about $250,000 a year, which easily puts him in the top 5% of most coaches. And he told me that my videos made him feel safe and at ease, and like working with me was going to be possible, even before we'd spoken. I want to share the exact moment that flipped the switch for him and how you can create videos that turn strangers into your next dream clients without selling a thing. And if that sounds good, let's start the show. Welcome to the Standout Business Show, the podcast for expert entrepreneurs who want to make a bigger difference by showing up differently. I'm Brad Powell, and I'm a video brand architect who helps experts turn 1 hour of their life into a whole month of trust-building video content without becoming fuel for the content machine. And so we're going to start with this story. I'm going to call it the story of Michael Dolan. Which, shout out to Michael. He's the person who I met just this week, and he's 56 years old. He is an executive coach, and he has this high six-figure business, which really positions him as someone who very much could be the exact right fit client for somebody who wants to come and work with me. Now, he came to me and we talked a little bit. His main goal was to grow from getting about 30% of his revenue coming from his brand to growing that to 60 to 70%. So he really wanted to develop his personal brand. And he had been thinking about doing video, but his main challenge was that he'd had some bad experiences with other lead generation tactics. But unbeknownst to me, he'd started watching some of my videos. And by watching them, he said they made him feel safe and at ease and inspired.
Really appreciated what you've been putting out there and how you show up. And like when I watch your stuff, it has me feel safe. Like this is a guy who he makes me feel at ease and like I could do it. And he brings a lightness and an openness that, oh yeah, I want to keep on watching his stuff because it has me feel even more and more like attracted and possible. And, I'd like to do that. That would be good,
So we got on a Zoom call together. This is what I call my standout on video call. And when people are coming to me and thinking of working with me, this is what we do as our very first step. And the very first thing he said when we showed up on Zoom, he said, I feel like I'm in one of your videos. And he was referring to that he can see my set in the background, and this is where I make all of my videos from. And he was like, oh, here I am live with you in one of your videos. And I think the main thing that had happened is that because he'd been watching my videos, a lot of stuff around ice breaking and building familiarity and building trust, and more importantly, building alignment between how he thinks and how I think, all of that stuff had already happened. And so the call, this kind of call, which is really a sales call, a call where if it's looking like we're a good fit, then I'm going to encourage the two of us to start working together. Well, this didn't feel at all like I had to sell anything. And a lot of what Michael said to me, all of this was unsolicited, and he just kept referencing the ways in which the videos of mine that he'd been watching made him feel.
You seem like you have a natural way of like nuggetizing and systematizing in a way that communicates, that works.
And so by the end of this first call, the first time we've actually met in person, he's basically raised his hand and said, okay, I want to get started. And I have a feeling that he's going to be one of my favorites. And I can't tell you how good it felt. I think for both of us, getting on this call together was like meeting a new friend. So when this works, when you put your videos out into the world, this is the kind of thing that you can expect to have happen to you. And I'll say that this kind of thing is repeatable. You can do it again and again. So for instance, earlier this year, I started working with a really cool landscape design company called The Narrow Lane. And they're actually located right here in Boston. And the man who runs Narrow Lane, his name is Ron Good. And he had been watching my videos. And so he reached out unsolicited. We got on a Zoom call together. And one of the first things that he said to me was, I feel like I already know you. And he was kind of laughing about it and almost embarrassed to admit it. And that rapport, that instant rapport that we established was there because he'd been seeing me, hearing from me, feeling my vibe, feeling sort of who I am and what I'm like. And that's what drew him in. And so by the time we got on the call, he really felt comfortable in talking about how we could work together. And of course, we did start working together, and we've been making some terrific videos since then. And I'll mention just one more client example. Dr. Matt Shiver is a business coach for personal trainers and fitness people. And he and I started working together, oh gosh, it was probably 4 years ago. And after he'd been publishing his videos for about 3 months, he told me that when people were getting on his sales calls, people were referencing the videos that they'd been seeing on the call.
The cool part was when I was able to hop on sales calls or calls with people, they would start to reference the content that I was creating. I was like, whoa, you guys are listening. So I encourage you, if you're like, it sounds like it's a lot of work to start creating content on a consistent basis. And if you can do it enough consistently, you're going to build enough know, like, and trust factor with your ideal clients to where they will literally DM you and be like, how do I work with you? How do I pay you money? Create content. It works.
So this isn't luck. It's the result of intentional, trust-driven video architecture. And this is exactly the kind of architecture that I can help you build when you start working with me with my mic drop moments method. And this is a really simple and fairly painless way for you to create a lot of content. We sit down, we have an interview, I ask you questions, you give me answers, and we gradually pull out some of your best insights, your best stories, and your pearls of wisdom that you have to share with the people who you most want to serve. And when they see your videos, if they are the right people, all of this is going to resonate with them because your videos show the real person behind your brand. And it's going to create familiarity, it's going to build your authority, and all of this happens before your first conversation. The main thing that you're communicating is that whatever problem you're helping your prospects solve, they're starting to believe that it's possible for them. And now they're ready. They're ready to say yes to your offer. And this makes all the difference. So, does video really work? If your goal is to have sales calls where selling isn't even necessary, then yes, it totally works. The key is showing up in a way that builds trust before the call ever happens. And if you want to create a set of mic drop moment videos that make your next client feel like they already know you before they even meet you, we should talk. The link is down below. And remember, you don't need more content. You need more connection. And I'll see you next time. So long.